Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here, about to go for a spot on the leaderboards. My current best, as you can see, is a GR45 in 11 minutes 56 seconds. That puts me about 10 seconds under being in the top 1,000 for Necromancer Greater Rifts in the PTR for patch 2.6. What I'm about to do is attempt a 46 to see if I can get into the top 650 on the leaderboards. Most of what people are using down towards the bottom is either going to be Legacy of Nightmares builds or the Bone set, and then higher up in the Greater Rifts, it's mostly dominated by the Blood set. But I'm not using it either of those. I am using the Bone Armor set, or Saint set, I suppose is what it's called. Bone Armor damage is increased by 1,000%. Bone Armor stacks are now refreshed. In addition, Bone Armor grants an additional 2% damage reduction per enemy hit. And Bone Armor also activates a swirling tornado of bone damaging nearby enemies for 375% weapon damage and increasing the damage they take from the Necromancer by 850%. I need the full 6-piece bonus. And here's where things kind of get a little interesting. This is obviously not the best weapon I could have for this, but it's not bad. It is just a two-handed mace that rolled with over 1,000 primary stat, additional damage, and reduced resource cost. I rolled off, I think, attack speed for vitality. I don't really remember. And then we've got a unity paired up with my follower's unity. I've also got a Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, and we have a Convention of Elements in the cube, which we'll get to in a minute. And then we're just using a Hellfire Amulet. The belt doesn't really matter. It's just the first ancient belt I found with intelligence on it. Same kind of thing with these Lacuni Prowlers. Physical skills deal 17% more damage, and it rolled with Thorns damage, so I figured it was good enough. For my gems, I've got Bane of the Powerful at rank 53, a Bane of the Trapped, and a Boyarski's Chip. In case you have not figured it out, we are using a Thorns build. Currently we've got about 125,000 Thorn damage, and the reason for that is mostly just a theory that it will work with this build. In the cube, we're using a hack. 100% of Thorns damage is applied with every attack. Heart of Iron, gain Thorns equal to 300% of my vitality, so 300% of 5,417, which I'm not going to even bother doing the math for that right now. And then a Convention of Elements. Alternatively, you could probably use a Furnace, and that might be strictly better. I'm not sure. I'm not going to mess with it right this minute. If you want to be more speedy, you could swap out an Ingeom, and then probably take out the Bone Spirit rune, or the Bone Spirit skill for Blood Rush, and that would probably make it a little more speedy. As for the skills, we're using Bone Spikes with the Sudden Impact rune to immediately stun enemies. Bone Spirit with the Unfinished Business rune, which it explodes, dealing damage to all enemies near the target. Would also possibly be worth using the Poltergeist rune to have more charges. Then we're using the Vengeful Armaments rune on Bone Armor. It increases the damage dealt to enemies. Command Skeletons, we're using the Kill Command rune. This is basically just immediate burst damage. And on Rift Guardians, it's nice to have this so that I have something to do during my... I think it's basically poison damage. I think it's called Blight damage. Then Command Golem with the Bone Golem rune. It's really freaking cool. It summons a tornado, and it damages everything. And then I'm using the Frailty rune with Aura of Frailty. That makes it so that I no longer have to cast the Frailty curse. It instead, everything around me, when anything around me, I'm not sure the exact... Okay, within 15 yards of me, it just dies when it reaches less than 15% health. So that's pretty insane. For passives, we're using Serration, simply because I get a 5th passive because of my Hellfire Amulet. We're using Serration to buff the damage on Bone Spikes and Bone Spirit. Bone Prison, so that when I use one of those spells, or skills, I guess, I have a 10% chance to trap enemies. Then I have Final Service, which is just the Cheat Death passive. And then Aberrant Animator, to give my minions 200% of my thorns. So, there's a lot of thorn damage. Paragons, I have, I believe, 12% additional movement speed on my Lacuni Prowlers, and I dumped everything else into Intelligence. For offense, I would say probably cooldown reduction, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and then attack speed. Resist all, life, armor, and life regen. And I would say area damage, resource cost reduction, and life per hit. Actually, you know what? Forget I said that, because the only thing here that costs essence is my bone armor, which you pretty much cast that on cooldown if you're near enemies. But you're generating so much resource. If I had room, I would consider, and possibly I'll make an update video to this later on, of me running this build only with a Ring of Royal Grandeur and running an Aquila Cuirass instead of the chest piece, because I almost never get below like 90% resource. So let's bump it up one and let's see what happens. So first thing, when you come in, you want to pop the bone armor. I basically only use Bone Spirit on elites because it's just not that powerful a skill. Alrighty, these things are taking a lot more of a beating than they did in a 45. But we are doing okay. Still extremely early in this rift. You do definitely want to skip past single enemies and skip for density. I think this build does some pretty good AoE damage between the thorns and the bone armor itself. And there goes my second life. See, it's really cool because things just die when they reach 15% health. So conduit pylons make everything more fun. And I think this is going to be a dead end, because it normally is on this kind of rift. It's not this time, though. Come on, give me some density. Or a pack. This does play a little bit similar to like the Legacy of Nightmares Thorns build for Crusader. But I mean, obviously this is not a Legacy of Nightmares build, so it does have some pretty big differences. I'm gonna die. And there it is. Yeah, I knew it was coming. I was kind of trapped in that corner with all those arcane turrets coming at me. Okay, killed the elite. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. I need to actually get in there with them. This guy's being a real pain in the ass here. There we go. Oh, give me the power pylon. Thank you. Oh yeah, here we go. And new floor, of course. Oh well, we got one elite pack kill with that power pylon, so it could have been worse. I'm about to get toasted. There goes my second life. Okay, so that at least killed that guy. Let's go ahead and bounce. Oh, that's kind of cool that it... The most important thing is that you always keep up your bone armor, because that's what deals almost all of your damage. Oh, crap. That almost popped my second life. Speed pylon. Let's go ahead and kill this last little group here. And I misjudged that. Oh, crap. I just got melted. And there's a second gold pack. At least we know density will not be an issue on this particular rift. I'm gonna die. Holy crap, that's a lot of density. Please don't die. Get out of my way, too many mobs. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh crap. Okay, so this floor has way too much density. Gonna just back down for a second. I mean, that's the thing, is I just need to back down and let my cooldowns come back up, and then pop back in. Because, I mean, that's the thing, is we've got plenty of density in this little area. Plenty of density plus elites. Alright. Let's just clean up some of this. Some of these mobs. Oh, yes, and a shielding pylon. That's excellent. Here we go. Crap. I missed that cooldown. Or that convention development cycle, rather. And that's the other thing with the way that this build is set up, is I pretty much have one specific thing that I do on each convention development cycle. Rank 652. What? Alrighty. Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, that was definitely not easy, but I got it done. I'm going to look when I get back to town here. It's 12:55. So, I mean, I might be able to do a 47, maybe a 48 in a perfect world, but I'm not so sure. I am curious, though. So he's around my same Paragon. Okay, so most of these people are at least around my Paragon. It's not like these are the guys that have, you know, thousands of Paragons. Whoa. That's gotta be some kind of glitch. Which one was that? Okay, this guy has got to be some kind of glitch, because it says he cleared a 49 in 13 minutes. He's only got 252 Paragon, and he's not even using a weapon or something screwed up here. Blizzard, you might want to see what's going on with this, because there's no way that's accurate. Anyway, but I digress. Got the 46, got the rank. I'm going to continue to keep trying to push, probably with this build, just because it's kind of fun. This is the third set that I've tried out for Necromancer, and this is by far the most fun. And it's the one I'm having by far the most success with. So, funny how those two things kind of go hand in hand, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a 25-minute video, so I'm going to go ahead and call this the end of it. If you enjoyed this, make sure and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this is Primetime CP23, and I'm out.